I'm here with the CEO of RedJet, and he is, of course, Mr. Ian Burns. And Mr. Burns actually just gave a very, very interesting presentation here at the first inaugural State of the Industry Conference for the CTO. Mr. Burns, that was very dynamic, but also very controversial in a way. Does that really explain your personality and, of course, your persona behind pursuing this very difficult business in the Caribbean?
Well, I don't think it's about personalities. I think it's about belief, a fundamental belief that the consumer in the Caribbean has been neglected for far too long and has been the last person in the food chain, so to speak, that's ever considered, particularly in terms of international transport. And so what we're here to do is to reach out to the consumer, because we believe so many people want to travel but just literally can't afford to. And that's what we're trying to do, is provide the consumer with what the consumer wants. It's fair, affordable, safe travel.
Absolutely. Now, we've seen the challenges, obviously, that RedJet came in with, yet we hear from governments over and over again that they cannot get enough airlift into the region and intra-regionally. Why do you think you're facing so much challenges, given the excellent service that you're bringing to the region?
Well, I think it's simply down to protectionism. It's the power that the state-owned monopolistic airlines have. They have a control over governments, because in real terms, civil servants generally run a country, and politicians are temporary, as distinct from civil servants, which are public, are permanent in many ways. So there's a challenge between governments being able to achieve, drive and change, when the civil service in a lot of countries actually is very conservative in its outlook. Therefore, I think that is one of the issues that we do face, is politicians being able to drive change within the region.
Now, we're hearing from a lot of airlines, BA this morning, obviously LIAT in the region, that the fuel price, the price of really flying a carrier is exorbitant. How is it that RedJet is able to offer such low costs, and then you're proposing a $50 fare across the region?
Well, I think you've just got to look at a lot of the legacy airlines, like the large airlines, are always making excuses. Look at the airlines that are really performing today. Go to EasyJet in the UK, go to Ryanair out of Ireland, go to AirAsia, go to GOL in Brazil. Go to these airlines, and they're not moaning and groaning about the price. They're getting on with their business of delivering affordable, safe travel to the majority of people and to the mass market, and turning travel into a commodity. And that's what it is. People don't need frills to travel short distances. People just want to get there safely, on time, with their bags.
And how is RedJet also able to offer such a low cost, given the exorbitant taxes that governments are also putting onto the airline tickets? Because we've also heard that from BA this morning. That is one of the reasons why so many airlines are cutting back on seats, because of the taxes.
Yeah, I mean, taxes are a huge issue. I mean, for example, if I want to I sell a ticket for $9.99 from Barbados to Jamaica. So return, that's $19.98. That fare ends up to the consumer at $115. And that's all tax. So it's highlighting now the huge amount of tax that's been charged to passengers. And the legacy airlines just can't get away from this. A lot of the taxes are there because of them, because they demand these airports, and they demand air bridges, and they demand all these things, where purely the volume in the Caribbean just isn't there to justify those kind of expenses. And so, I think people in the Caribbean have to be more confident. People want to come here. This is a great product, right? Caribbean is a great product. People want to come here. So stepping off an airplane down the stairs and into a terminal isn't going to be the difference between them going here or going to Spain or Germany or Canada or whatever. And we just got to be able to stand up and be a little more confident about, this is us and this is what we're about.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about RedJet, your plans for the future. Obviously, you're looking to expand markets. Where are you now? Tell our viewers where you are now, and where are the markets that you're looking to expand to?
Okay, one of the things we're obviously our initial base is in Barbados. But again, we're not a national airline. We are a Caribbean airline. Everybody keeps using the word Caribbean, but we are the only ones who are truly Caribbean, because we want to establish bases in other parts of the Caribbean so that we can actually service those markets as well. All the other airlines have their national base, and they always want to go to their national base. So we want to have 10 aircraft in Jamaica. We want to have 10 or 15 aircraft in Dominican Republic. We want to have aircraft in El Salvador. We want to have aircraft in Trinidad. We want to spread around the region. so that we can bring, and that brings dynamic models to every market. It brings huge amounts of jobs because all our planes come home at night, so all our staff always come from those countries. So, you know, if we bring 10 aircraft to Jamaica, that's a huge reinvestment, regeneration of the aviation industry in Jamaica. And that's one of our ambitions, but we can only do that when the politicians say yes, it's a go button, and that's what we're waiting for.
Absolutely. Tell us about the markets you're in now, and obviously you're looking to expand your fleet. You currently have just 2 planes. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
Okay, well, we only have 2 planes because, as I said at the very outset, you're never sure what routes you're going to get, and everybody knows the history of our fights to get routes. So you just can't. I mean, if we were in Europe, for example, we would know that once we got our AOC license, we could fly anywhere. So we obviously would have, if we were in that position here, we would have 5, 6 aircraft to start with. So that's the reason why we started with 2. And we owe a great debt of gratitude, and the region owes a great debt of gratitude to Guyana and the government of Guyana and its president, because they fought to allow RedJet in to Guyana, and they fought for RedJet along with the government of Barbados within the CARICOM. So they have done a great service to the whole region, and I applaud them for that. And as a result now, we are the only airline that will have 3 routes out of Georgetown in Guyana. Non-stop routes to Port of Spain, to Barbados, and now we're announcing on Monday to Antigua as well. So they're getting the benefits of supporting RedJet. They are now going to have a significant increase in their airlift, and it's going to be all at affordable prices.
So now you're in Barbados, Guyana,
Trinidad and Jamaica, and hopefully very soon we'll be in St. Martin here, be in St. Lucia, and from there we will grow out. We also have permission to fly to Panama as well. So we're really trying to push out the boat as quickly as we can.
That is wonderful. And talk to me about the French Caribbean, because the other day we were at a press conference with the Martinican director of tourism, and that was also one of the hurdles she mentioned. Traveling between Martinique and the other territories is harder than going from Martinique to Paris.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all down to what we all know happens in the region, and that is that everyone takes a national view. It doesn't matter who they are, and as a result, there's protectionism that works. And you know, I've said at my press conference today that we want to put the consumer first, and when that happens, and really only when that happens, will change really start to happen, because the consumer is not at the heart of government in any country in the Caribbean at the moment, except maybe for Guyana.
And one last question, what keeps you motivated in the Caribbean? You've come in as an investor with a great idea, wanting to do something great, and you face so many challenges. What made you stay and not just say, you know what, forget it, and let me just go where I came from?
Well, that's a very simple question to answer. Simply, people. The people in the Caribbean are always saying, keep going, we need you, we want you. So when you have that kind of support coming, you just cannot walk away. It's just not within me to walk away from a challenge. And when you see the support that people are, I mean, it is absolutely, you would be aware of the support that's out there for, not just for RedJet, but for the consumer to be championed, to bring choice, to bring competition. That's what people really want, and that's what they see RedJet standing for in the fight for them to be able to achieve these things in the future, not just in aviation, but in other areas as well. Digicel brought it into telecommunications. That was mentioned today, and we're trying to do the same thing in aviation, and then other people will come in, I think, to other areas as well.